Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the president of the Latin Chamber of Commerce of Nevada, Peter Guzman, joins us here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news in between and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. We are delighted to be joined, as always, by our good friend Peter Guzman. He is president of the Latin Chamber of Commerce of Nevada. Pleasure to have you back on the program, sir.
Sam, it is absolutely always a pleasure to do this show with you. You've been doing this a long time, and I appreciate it because it allows a platform for a voice that sometimes wasn't always there. So thank you for that. And I'm sorry I didn't wear a tie today and I didn't get all dressed up. I think it's the first time I didn't get overly dressed for you, and look at how you come in, looking like Giorgio Armani.
That is the nicest thing anybody has ever said to me. My wife appreciates it because she picks out all my clothes.
Excellent.
You're a member of the San Francisco Fed. What can you share with us about the economy from the Fed's perspective, which is not the media perspective, but what they see as reality?
Yeah, what's interesting about that role on the Federal Reserve of San Francisco is that, I'm not an economist. And that's done by design. They pick people who can give them that gives them information from the ground level, what we're hearing about. The prices of eggs is something that I always had a theme with them, and they really like that. And so, their perspective is what they're thinking about is exactly what people like myself from the ground level tell them. And that is that there is a renewed enthusiasm. There just is. This isn't whether you like Trump, hate Trump, D, R. This is reality because that's what we're there for, to give them reality. And so what I can tell you is that exactly what I'm seeing right now. Right now, there's a renewed enthusiasm in the small business community. I think that's a combination of some change at the very, very top, which is Trump. But it also is our governor, who continues to fight for small business, continues to fight for a business-friendly environment. And let's face it, that's all we ask for in the small business community, right? That kind of enthusiasm is good. So we hope that translates into dollars.
But if you talk to retailers, especially over the last few months, and businesses in general that I deal with, they're telling me that things have been slow prior to the election, which was kind of expected, but they continue to be a little slow at this point in time. Is that the sense you're getting?
Well, again, small business is a big umbrella, right?
Sure.
Retail is a different animal. Brick and mortar real estate type things, different animal. I'm hearing from mostly my restaurant guys, light construction, landscape guys. They seem to be enthused and doing fairly well. Of course, it hasn't been that much time yet. Anybody who expects things to change overnight is, not
Right.
living in reality. Gas prices need to come down. Grocery, egg prices need to come down. Otherwise,
By the way, can we be realistic about that? No president has the ability to lower the price of eggs and bacon.
that's true. What he does have the ability to do is create an environment where goods and services are moving quicker, construction's happening faster, more trucks on the road. Those things do affect those things.
Let's talk about real estate, because that's something that you're intimately involved in. What is the real estate market like right now in Clark County? Do you see prices stable? Do you see prices going up? Do you see prices going down?
Well, prices continue to still be high, but this is all supply and demand, right? So it's going to depend on supply and demand. We have an issue. There is definitely a need for more housing, attainable housing. And there's a plan coming out. There's going to be a housing bill. The governor talked about it in his State of the State. And hopefully that addresses things. But we have to, listen, enthusiasm is something that's important. When developers and construction is enthusiastic, things happen. We need cranes up. The last time we had a real boom here, there was 9 cranes on the Strip. There's not 9 now. So we need cranes up, but we need to unleash all this land. I know we talk about this all the time. I feel like it's an issue like immigration. We talk about all this land that's all the way around us. The government owns 82+% of our state. This is really becoming critical now. Before you talk about it, and you kind of knew that, well, it ain't going to happen. No, it's got to happen now. It needs to happen. You need to create construction tax-free zones where the government puts in the land. They got skin in the game, but you got to open this thing up for developers. Maybe it's a tax-free zone for X amount of years. Something. It's got to be a zone where permits can be fast-tracked. We got to get under construction. And it's got to be on some of this land that's out here.
Okay, but at this point in time, it seems that we couldn't be further away from any lands bills passing. They were gone for the last session. They're going to be reintroduced for this session. But I'm
fast
hearing,
track some stuff.
Well, what I'm hearing, and I'm not so sure about Clark County, but certainly in the north, is that local governments aren't in agreement on everything, and that the congressmen are saying, "Hey, give us something that you want. We can go get it." But at this point,
it's interesting you say that. I started out our little conversation here by saying it reminds me a lot about immigration. I stand by that. That's exactly what they tell me about immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform. I get it. It can't happen, this, that, and here we are. Yeah, you're right. 15 years later, we're still talking about it. And I'm wondering, what is the critical moment? Is this not a critical moment for both issues?
Well, yes, I think that it is a critical. Let's separate them though, because they are distinctly different. The housing issue in Nevada, the federal government needs to open up the land to get things going. But I am told that even if you get a lands bill, by the time you go through the BLM and all the processing, it's still years out. It's not something that's going to turn on a dime.
Sam, like I said, that's just one part of the puzzle.
Sure.
The housing bill is going to include a lot of other things. I was on the committee. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert here, but there are things that are going to come out of that I think are really, really important. And and could make impact right away, fast tracking things. Again, I spoke to a guy yesterday who his permit's been sitting there. He doesn't understand why it's taking so long. Well, I don't understand it either. So
why don't they talk to Story County? Story County, and to a lesser extent, North Las Vegas, has figured out this permitting process to get things fast-tracked.
Fast-tracked. But you know what? Not always. And so, we got to make sure that happens. So there are things that we can do now that will help speed up things. In the long term, housing prices and interest rates, that things that kind of eliminate younger people from being able to buy the homes is something we have to address, because I'm hearing more and more about young people saying, housing's unattainable. I'm not really even thinking about it. And that's something that I reject wholeheartedly, because I know that the way out of generational poverty is through real estate. It's through buying and selling real estate. Always has been, always will be. You got to make sure that young people are thinking that way. And so we have to have those conversations.
Isn't that a partnership thing at this point, where it is unattainable for a lot of young people, but if you bond together with a group, then perhaps that becomes more attainable if the banking industry is willing to provide the money for that.
Again, another piece of an overall strategy, right? That should be included, those kind of conversations.
I see it happening within the broader Hispanic community. I'm not sure I see it in the rest of the community.
I think that's a true statement.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some immigration stuff, okay? We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with Peter Guzman after this timeout.
The new year is bringing so much fun to Tamarack Casino with cash and free play drawings Thursdays and Saturdays, and $40,000 in grand finale giveaways Thursday, February 27th. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Peter Guzman. He's the president of the Latin Chamber of Commerce. At what point, if the mass immigration, or whatever you want to call it, goes through, which it obviously is to an extent, people are going to find that they can't get landscapers, people to work in their restaurants, people to work in construction, people to work in the farms, not just in Nevada, but across the country. At that point, are people not going to be yelling at their congresspeople and their senators? And at that point, because don't congresspeople and senators respond to the public who vote them in or out of office, that something needs to be done?
Well, they usually respond to that. Up until now, I do feel like there's a slight change because of the way Hispanics and the other minority groups tend to be voting right now. That could have some serious ramifications. You're exactly right. That's what politicians listen to. And so I hope so, because what I'm seeing now and what I potentially could be seeing here shortly is not the way it's supposed to be. And both parties are to blame, Democrats and Republicans.
Absolutely.
They've kicked this can down the road. They used it as political strategy, and here we are again. And, I'm not going to be surprised to see some violence on the streets, major protests.
Here in Nevada?
Here in Nevada and everywhere. I mean, as we're doing this show, last night there was an ugly protest that turned violent, rocks and boulders thrown at cops, and it got real ugly.
Where in Las Vegas?
I saw a video, and so yeah, it happened late last night.
And which part of town?
I think it was in. I don't want to say.
Okay.
Because I'm not 100% sure where it was.
Okay, fair enough.
And so I don't want to, tag any community. It was ugly, and it breaks my heart to see that. It does because this is such a great country, and the love I have for this country is immense. My father escaped Cuba, communism, came here at a young man on his own, left his family behind, seeking a better life. And he always told me, son, you got to have the American flag always present, along with, whatever flag your country you're from, that's fine. But the American flag is our flag. And we're not seeing that kind of patriotism, and it breaks my heart.
What's interesting, and I don't mean to encourage anybody to break the law to come here, but when you see these hundreds of thousands of people trying to get to the United States and what they're going through to get here, it really does give you the example of what this country represents to the world.
Yeah, 100%. And so that's what breaks my heart, is that some of the stuff you're seeing and possibly could be seeing here soon is not a representation of the majority. Okay, it's not. My staff at the Latin Chamber of Commerce is a great example. These are immigrants. These are good people, hardworking. They love this country. They left places because they wanted to come to this great American dream. And so how these elected officials have kicked this can down the road so long, to where now it's a real struggle for my Hispanic folks, it's disappointing.
It's also become such a national conversation piece that, and rightly so, secure the borders. But at the same time you're securing the borders, we need to be working on, and how do you get a legal process for the workers that we need?
2025, how do we not have a real, system in place to make this less than what it is right now, which is...
Isn't it a public relations campaign to explain that you need 16 workers working to keep every person on Social Security? So don't talk about Social Security running out of money. Talk about how you maintain Social Security.
100%.
And that's increasing the birth rate or increasing the population. One way or the other, you've got to do that. The current population of the United States is not increasing the birth rate. It's going the other direction. So you want to maintain Medicare, Social Security. You need people. And it's not like the people you would want coming in aren't going to be the most enthusiastic. You and I are both. Yeah, I'm an immigrant too.
What really breaks my heart is the way the story is being told now, and it's not the real story. The story is, Las Vegas is a perfect example. You couldn't open up the Strip if we got rid of every immigrant, right?
Right.
And so that story is not the way it should be told. Listen, the majority spoke. The majority is okay with deporting violent criminal felons.
Absolutely.
So do that. But you're starting to see a slippery slope here. So I'm watching and observing. And I hope that we do not see federal agents going into schools, pulling children out of schools. I hope they stick to what was said. Deporting violent criminals. Everybody's with you on that.
I think that the danger for this administration, whether it were Republican or Democrat, going down this road, is that if they go too far, the pendulum will swing 180 degrees.
Very quickly.
And it will go like that in multiple election cycles.
And guess what we have in 2 years? Remember, yeah, the voters spoke pretty loudly, but in 2 years, they speak again. And they're watching and observing. Absolutely. And immigration is one of the issues they'll be watching. If it's not done correctly, again, America's with removing and deporting violent criminals. Nobody's disputing that. Those that are in the business of chaos and in the business of immigration. The hardworking rest of us are with deporting violent criminals, those who want to do harm to this great country.
Okay, and one of the things that should be mentioned, if you're going to have any kind of immigration bill, is you're going to have a cutoff. Because if you say you're going to pass an immigration bill next week, then there are going to be literally millions of people trying to come in. Unless you do,
the borders issue number one.
Hang on. Unless you do what happened in 1986, where you say that you have to have been here for 5 years to qualify to get in. You can't be here if you just got here.
Yeah. Listen, issue number one is securing the border. Every country in the entire world, including Mexico, for those trying to come through, up until recently anyways, those coming through Central America, no, that border was secured. And so every country secures their borders. We need to do that first and foremost.
Let's take another break. Back more with Peter Guzman after this timeout.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation, supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
A new year brings new ways to win big with the $150,000 flurry of cash giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thursday and Saturday prize drawings, including up to $5,000 in cash and up to $10,000 during the grand prize giveaways. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Peter Guzman. He's the president of the Latin Chamber of Commerce of Nevada. So Phil Ruffin owns Circus Circus. 102 acres, I believe, right across the street from here in the fairgrounds. Piece of property. The largest piece of property left on the Strip. Your thoughts from the real estate perspective of what could be done with that? He's asking $5 billion. Others have said maybe $2.5 billion. But what do you have to build there to justify that land price tag?
Listen, first of all, I'm not sure he officially has it up for sale, but my first inclination is...
Oh, no. He told Fortune magazine it was up for sale.
Fortune magazine, I know, and he's been doing that his whole career. And let me tell you something. First of all, let me say Phil Ruffin is a genius.
Yes, he is.
He bought the Frontier land at a ridiculous price and sold it at a ridiculous price.
Made over $1 billion profit.
He might have overpaid, some say, for Circus.
No.
But it ain't looking that way now.
No, and not only that, but I mean, you couldn't have built it for what he paid for it.
Yeah, of course. And now he's sitting on a great piece of property. And there are those who want to speculate that he's asking too much, or even if he is asking anything, he said $5 billion. I get it. What I'm here to tell you is that property is worth exactly what somebody's willing to buy it for.
Sure.
So you don't make fun of the man's $5 billion number because he may get it. And there's a lot coming this way on the Strip, and he's sitting on a great piece of property.
Okay, but what could be worth $5 billion land cost? What could you put on there that would justify it?
It could be, obviously, it's going to be several different things, right? It could be several things. It could be an NBA arena. It could be a lot of things, a brand new hotel and condos and a well thought out plan. Yeah, $5 billion sounds like a lot, but 10 years from now, 15 years, it's going to be a bargain.
Do you see Naked City being pushed back? And if Circus goes and develops, then you push across the street to the Sahara Avenue.
What happens? All of a sudden, that's called redevelopment. And some people hate it, and some people enjoy it. And yeah, it keeps pushing, my friend.
Amazing. Hey, always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Guzman.
I appreciate you having me, Sam. Always a pleasure to do your show.
Thank you. And we'll be right back.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. We'll see you on the next broadcast.